so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the godwoman. A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm he was loved, worshipped and adored. Humans, lizards, elves and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The Great Allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the Void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, I was freed of the God King's terrible tyranny. I avoided an eternity of pain and suffering. Now I fight for the other side. Now I fight for the divine.
Well, divinity suits you. Though I know of one it might.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. Get an eyeful, Your Holiness. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some...
She turns to you, arms crossed, and grins.
Look at you. Magnificent. Don't I know it? Let's hope it pays off.
She fingers the mask covering her face.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Soon, I'd like to have a little chat about something, but I will relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know, around and about. And when the time comes, I'll come find you. Your Holiness.
Escaped an abominable prison and not that your story is finished, of course. As a matter of fact, Source makes for an excellent ally in matters of a demonic nature. Whether you are clever enough of a divine to keep Damien's disciples confined to Nemesis, I can't say. Now that I am clear of mind and free of intruder, once I've come to a conclusion, I promise you'll be the until we meet again.
Beast Spirit smiles as you approach, and begins to sing a tune you think...
Here the wild beast just sails on the ocean, he's docked in the bay and coming your way. Off on the yawn you hear the commotion, he's docked in the bay and coming your way. Your cupboard can't hide you, nor can your berth, his daggers don't care about the gold that you're worth. He'll bury your bones neath a mount.
He pauses, then continues to hum, all the while...
I've never been fond of what the Divine stands for, but I must say, it's rather exciting to say I've been up close and reform my ways. How adorable. No.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon.
Something to remember me by, darling. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet for Mahali and I. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
You're the new Divine. That's so cool. What's it like? Neat. I'll be counting on you. There's also the matter of my payment for all the stuff I've done.
He taps his fingers and mouths silently while he counts.
1,300,000 dozen and 52 gold pieces. Now pay up. It is so, but if you can't pay me in money, then I'll just have to insist you keep me on until you can. So, what position can you offer?
Han ponders your suggestion for all of a second.
Okay, I love being all sneaky and well, yeah.
Oh my, you! Look who it is!
She curtsies low and looks up at you with a grin.
So, what's your first order of business? End world hunger? Instigate world peace? Send all spiders back to hell where they belong? Big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to. Ding ding ding! My loot calluses are all but worn off. I'm a disgrace. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right? Don't speak too soon. You're a god now, after all. Soon enough, your brain will be... Let me know if you see any falling boulders coming my way, though.
As she turns from you, the white suddenly it's gone again.
See you around.
Well, if it isn't the new Divine gracing me with his presence. How honored I am.
Tarquin's smirk.
I didn't come all this way to show deference. Some friendly advice. All who rise, that is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy? No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language. I intend to seek them out. This could start...
Well, well, Quakers. Look who finally graced us with their presence. I suppose some thanks. No, you should be thanking me. You're welcome, by the way. Honestly, Quakers, some creatures have no sense of perspective.
A huge grin slowly spreads across the screen.
Of course, had you not stopped this God King and his lackeys,
The cat moves forward, twisting around your legs and filling the air with the sound of
Quackers! Please, have a little decorum.
Quercus arches his back, almost dislodging Selora, who just smiled.
This battle is won, my friend, but we still have a war to fight. They summoned the Great Acorn once. They will be able to summon it again. That is the future Quercus and I have ahead of us. The honor is all mine. I pray we will not. I never thought I would be proud. Ow! Quercus! I do not know what comes. Come, Quercus. We must... Oh, I think you have something in your eye, my...
The cat curls up and snuggles in.
Amazing I'm still here. That we're still here. That Lucian... Well, that relationship always was complicated. You're so much like him. My instincts tell me to kneel to the new Divine. I've done so before, after all. But...
Gareth is still. For a moment, his mind wanders to memories of friends and enemies, of Malady and Magisters, of...
Perhaps not. But time. Time has a way of changing someone.
Gareth's mind wanders once more.
I find a way to fit. I wasn't just content to live, so I find out. My goal is to...
There you are. I was hoping you'd come find us again. I've never known a god before they became divine.
She gives you a long, assessing look, but makes no immediate comment.
Sounds sort of... Isn't it odd, though?
She chuckles.
I'm sorry, it's just... There's something funny in it, isn't there? Don't you feel it? Maybe you should give it a bit of time. I imagine it takes... I'll serve my people as best I can. Let's do good. You by yours, me by mine.
Fane is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. His eyes stay fixed on the book as you approach. Fane looks up, his gaze carefully drinking you in.
Fascinating. The power of my people. The power of the Veiled. All in one delicate mortal shell. Who could have the powers of the universe rushing through your body and you feel strange?
The skeleton looks back to the book.
I can't help thinking that I could have saved them. That I could have done something. You could have saved them, but you didn't. You made your... Don't misunderstand. That doesn't mean I cannot mourn them. They deserve that much.
The skeleton hefts Hubert's dog-eared encyclopedia. Its weight...
I've been rereading this book, looking over your history once again, poring over every detail with a new perspective. It's shit.
Fane tosses the book over his shoulder. It flutters in the air as it sails over the
If you have spent your life staring at a thing, you can write about it. You creatures have spent your lives trudging about this world. And take otters, for example. Energetic, water... or octopuses. Octopuses? Octopi? Octopods. Regardless, the world is filled with absolutely incredible... Do you know, there is the idea that nothing is ever true. I suppose we are all Source. Just in different forms. But my people were Source too. In a way, I was walking alongside the... In you, I found a home better than the one I would...
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords. I am at the ready. Consider me to be a gift from Malady. My wood was splintered. I feel better than new.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays, and with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command. War raged on. Arx remained the center of power as the races united behind the Divine. But the Voidwoken attacks continued as they did elsewhere. Arx would see many more long years of war. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new Divine Alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the God King. The Empire used the war to expand its territory. Justinia returned to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven Kingdom fought for the Divine, and her loyalty was unquestionable. Many fine and courageous dwarves did their people great honor in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And on the integrity of the elven Godwoken who did not ascend. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the Void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on. The farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Voidwoken blight. The Black Pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Voidwoken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Arks battled on. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with ongoing war, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her. With a new Divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally, but she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. The undead priestess Gratiana remained in her sanctuary, happy to wait for the war to pass. Goddess. Jehan the demon hunter never stopped hunting for demons. Sahala sought to strengthen the Elven Alliance Divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new Divine trusted her. Tova, her mother, was Sahela's most trusted warrior. Fane traveled Rivellon, notebook in hand, recording the wonders he discovered. He kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternals, hoping to find the wife he had lost. He's still looking. As the new mother, Sibyl found a great forest and founded a new elven homeland. Elves flocked to her and worshipped her as a goddess. Sibyl swore never to kill again, but once in a while she'd look at her needle and smile. Losa returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as the Divine's premier musician. Dark moods would still overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. For how much of this do you take credit or blame? And what kind of divine were you as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength? Did you sacrifice others as Lucian had done? Did you regret becoming divine? Should you have given your soul and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.